Good morning, everybody. I'm Aanya, Achrekar, and I'm going to throw a light on a topic in climate action that we don't give much thought to. When we think about climate action, we think about the wastage of water, climate change, or even separating dry waste from wet waste. But have you ever thought that that trip you took to Goa a few years ago could contribute to climate change way more than you taking a few extra minutes in the shower every day could? Every second, 45 tourists arrive at their destination. That's huge. The tourism industry is rapidly growing and uses resources in careless abundance. The average water consumption rates for hotels and resorts account for 84 to 2,000 liters per tourist per day. But this affects rural tourism much more than it affects urban areas. It leads to the depletion of local natural resources, as well as to pollution and waste problems. Tourism often puts pressure on the natural resources through overconsumption, often in such places where resources are already scarce. In most parts of the country, the local community is rarely involved in the decision making about the kind of tourism and the tourists that visit their homes. So, can ecotourism be a solution? Ecotourism offers sustainable alternatives to our traditional, environmentally damaging tourism methods. It provides a framework to implement commercially viable tourism without impacting the environment. It also contributes to the UN's 17 SDGs, such as education and climate action. Let me explain this through a few real-life examples. A few years back, I visited a village in Goa called Netravari. Here, an NGO encourages the local community to practice ecotourism and helps them grow their business sustainably, while preserving the surroundings by providing them with the adequate resources to do so. They also educate them in maintaining tourism as a secondary income to their main agricultural background, so that they can survive economically straining situations, such as COVID-19, when the tourism industry took a steep fall. This works the other way around as well. If the crops fail one year, the villagers can always rely on their tourism business as their main income. This helps the locals become self-reliant and creates awareness within them to preserve their surroundings. Another example is an organization called Village Ways. Situated across the country, this organization works mainly towards empowering the locals. It contributes to this by helping them sell their handicrafts and encouraging them to share their local culture with the tourists. Visitors stay at local homestays owned and run by the villagers. Village Ways works hard with the village communities to determine the problems affecting the local biodiversity. They nurture the traditions and the local knowledge that have long allowed the villagers to live in balance with their surroundings and to develop an understanding of the changes, both positive and negative, that the modern world can bring. Guides are trained to value and share their knowledge of the local flora and fauna. Local craftsmen are encouraged to use traditional skills and materials to build and restore guest houses, and at the same time incorporate energy-saving technologies such as solar panels for heating and lighting water. Another unique approach towards ecotourism is implemented by an agency called Terra Conscious. They have initiated programs on responsible livelihood development and raising awareness about wildlife and ecosystems. They provide tourists with comprehensive and immersive learning tours, where they educate them on the different aspects that affect Goa's marine and coastal biodiversities and ecosystems. These problems include improper sewage treatment, the disposal of non-biodegradable wastes into the waters by tourists and locals alike, and the pollution of the ocean by the various boats and ships that pepper Goa's coast. Their impact programs are knowledge-based and are a source of education to the tourists that opt for them, and help in creating awareness among the general populace. This approach helps educate tourists to enjoy their travels responsibly. But what can we as tourists do to help decrease our negative impact on the environment? Here are 5 tips to follow every time you travel. 1 is to leave no trace. You don't have to be a die-hard activist to be a responsible traveler. From a responsible tourism perspective, it is very important that your visit to the area is not a harmful one. So don't litter or cause any harm to your surroundings. Two is to bring along an open attitude. Support local. This makes everything easier and opens your mind to accepting new things, new cultures, and even new food. Support the local economy by staying in homestays, eating the local cuisine, and buying local products. Three, share your own story. Not everyone has the privilege to travel, and your being there is an opportunity for the locals to learn about your background and for their own cultural discovery. Four is to carry your own waste disposal systems. In rural areas, there's an absence of a proper waste disposal system. So carry your own. Bring along a carry bag to dispose of non-biodegradable wastes. Lastly, respect the local culture. When traveling, always remember to respect the culture and the traditions of the locals. Doing this, you will have a great experience yourself and provide a great experience to your hosts as well. In the words of Parag Rangnekar, an ecotourism expert, the very roots of ecotourism lie in the locals of that place. Thank you.